All right, well, I want to welcome everyone to a tremendous groundbreaking and really something that, yeah, let's do a collective round of applause on a Monday morning. And as we are going to see, this is truly a one Albuquerque, one New Mexico effort to take care of a community that has desperately needed these resources and in many ways been left behind. But we are catching up today. So we have a lengthy list of folks we want to allow to share a few words, and that's because there were so many people who helped make this possible. And so I'm going to keep my intro relatively short, but let me acknowledge a couple of speakers that are not on our speaking list or our dignitaries that are here. Let's just hit our folks behind me really quick. We have all sorts of folks. We've got Representative Roy Caballero. It's a Monday morning, excuse me. And Senator Linda Lopez. Representative Eleanor Chavez. And Representative Joy Garrett. City Councilor Clarissa Pena. All right, and Senator Michael Padilla as well. Okay. So, we know this idea started in sort of a fun way. You know, when you run for office, the idea is that you can make a difference. That is fundamental, hopefully, to why everyone runs for office. And I remember a conversation, I remember exactly when this idea came up. And I was talking to Councilor Pena. It was about maybe 4 years ago at this point, and we were talking about all her tremendous work out at Westgate and the Route 66 Visitor Center and some other in Alamosa. And I had just finished infrastructure sort of tour in this area in the Southwest and talking to police and fire about the challenges they have responding to calls out here because it's so far from where our city facilities are located. And those two things came together, and of course the councilor had always known about these issues. And I said, you know, why can't we have one of these multi-use public safety centers, but way out in the southwest corner, and also right near one of our largest and fastest growing high schools, actually in the entire state. And we kind of looked at each other and it was like, you know, let's just give it a shot. And then the next question we said was, how on earth are we going to fund it? And the answer to that question is everyone pretty much behind us who has helped do that. So this is something that I think when we first cooked it up, you know, it was doubtful whether or not we would ever break ground within a reasonable amount of time. But we're proving that doubt wrong today, and we're going to get this done for the community. And there's actually a longer-term vision, even more on the way. So today we celebrate the groundbreaking of the Southwest Public Safety Center right out here in the far Southwest Mesa by Trisco Heritage High School. We've also got Rodolfo and I Elementary very close by. And of course, thousands of Briqueños who live around this area. And they know more than anyone, and we have many of the neighbors here with us today. They know more than anyone that the response time for police and fire is longer than it should be because we're staffing out of facilities way out closer to sort of central in that area in the Southwest. And it's just a function of where our city has grown. People always think of growth on the far Northwest, and sort of we visualize that even if it's the form of Rio Rancho. But what they don't know is actually the fastest growing part of the city is the Southwest. And that's why we've got to continue to invest out here. So this facility is going to be a combined facility. It is primarily a brand new fire station, the first fire station in the city of Albuquerque, I think in 20 years, in terms of a new station. That is awesome. That's why I had to wear your guys' jacket today. And so this is a very special occasion for the department. And then, of course, co-located is going to be our police department. The Southwest sub right now is very far away. It's about 15 minutes for them. But when you add that into response time, it's going to be wonderful for them to stage out of here. And also our new community safety department. Right now headquartered at the Gibson Medical Center, which is like 30 minutes away. So this is going to be extremely helpful for that third response to 911 calls, that social public health response to those calls that now they took 40,000 calls that fire and police did not have to take last year. So we're grateful for them joining this effort as well. So with more on this, there are all sorts of people who made this happen. And I'm going to follow or run a show here. And I have the woman who I think there are two people who helped the most. And I'll just tell you, it's our city councilor and it's our governor. And I think we are going to begin with our governor, who just came off a session where we got a lot of things done for Albuquerque and for public safety. And so we are very grateful that she cares so much about the city and Southwest Albuquerque. It is extra special to have the governor of the state of New Mexico here. Please welcome Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That was a bit of an unfair introduction because anybody that knows Councilor Clarissa Pena, if she tells you to do something, you're better off just doing it. And she's been a champion, as well as all of her legislative colleagues, that there's no better time than, frankly, leveraging the incredible resources we have, including federal dollars, to develop and support each community, no matter where it is in Albuquerque. And we ought to be expecting more of this kind of thing. And it's incredible local leadership. Now, it's a $24 million investment. I think I did $3 million. And the reason I want viewers to know that is it's actually a tough negotiation between me and the legislators about how much money you allocate to a governor to allocate. And that may not make sense to you, but when they do it per legislator, they don't get $3 million. And they have thousands and thousands of constituents. Long story, unless a governor is supporting their issues, we don't get enough money dedicated to it quickly enough. And so I'm proud to be able to do that. I am committed to continue to do that. And I really want to hit hard two things that the mayor introduced. One, this co-location effort, these operation centers, now we've been funding many of these across the state. They make a huge difference. And quite frankly, the way in which we're leaning into public safety in Bernalillo County is the county and the city and the state and every elected leader. We have to do that collectively. Otherwise, it's too easy to not be able to focus the kind of attention and then maintain it. These operation centers create, right, that like set of leveraging by every first responder and experts to both the challenges and the risks that we have. It's a growing community. And two, our response times can't be improved if in fact we're traveling too far. And I really want to give you a personal story to put that in perspective. When I was raising my kiddos before they were going to grade school, I lived in the Nob Hill area. And my 6-month-old baby stopped breathing. And that's an immediate call, and I was alone. My husband, I think, was at the grocery store. I got a 2-year-old, and I got a 6-month-old baby who's not breathing. And I called 911, just like anyone would do. And I'm going to tell you that in a minute, the fire department was there. A minute or less. And I have a 36-year-old as a result of that quick and immediate effort. Not only did they save my baby's life, they created an environment for someone like me to really know firsthand that when you're in an emergency, you have to have the people who have the expertise to do something about it. It is always life-saving, and they have to be there as quickly as they can. And if we don't create opportunities for the men and women who put their lives on the line for us and invest in the infrastructure boldly and as many places as we can, then in fact we aren't meeting the needs of our neighbors. And I want to end with this. I'm really proud of the public safety infrastructure work that the legislature is leaning into, and it's not in a vacuum. We're working to build new schools, and we're working to build new neighborhoods, and we're working to bring in new parks. We want that kind of quality of life, and it's a lot going on all at once. And the fact that this is moving quickly should tell everyone engaged and involved, this has been a priority. It's incredible leadership from the city and the legislature. And I'm proud and lucky to be participating in the kinds of things that ultimately make sure that every family, not just mine, gets the kind of services and supports they need and deserve. Congratulations to the West Side, and thank you all so very much. Do you want me to move this? For God's sakes, nobody else wants this.
Oh.
Thank you.
We were discussing it. We didn't know.
Ah, too bad. Bring your own ball.
Thank you so much, Governor. And as both of us have mentioned too, a steadfast champion and someone who I know this project, whenever we're short for it or we don't get it in there, she calls me right away and I'm like, we will get it done. And I'm just so glad that we're actually starting construction today in so much part to her leadership, Councilor Clarissa Pena.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I'm going to start out, I'm going to say a little story. This goes years back when I was a community member, and we had a cleanup, over there by the Alamosa Neighborhood Association. It was a group of neighbors got together and wanted to clean up this field that had a lot of trash, glass, needles. Anyway, back in the day, we had a gentleman who was helping volunteer, and he cut the bottom of his foot pretty severely. So we called 911, and when we called 911, it was such a challenge. Those of you who are familiar or live in this part of town know that parts of it is checkerboard, so it's city or county. And so when we called 911, I was on the phone and others were on the phone kind of debating back and forth who was supposed to respond, because they would send us to the county saying that's a county. This gentleman is bleeding from his foot pretty severely. And, as a result of that, neighbors got together back then and actually ended up doing an intergovernmental agreement with the county so that the county and the city could work together just to respond when someone called out, so that there wasn't this confusion and this delay in response time. So that has been in place for many, many years. And as part of it, the county has grown, the Southwest Mesa has grown tremendously. And so we knew, in talking with the mayor and with the governor and our legislators, that this area is really underserved and really needed probably a fire station, a substation, back in the day. And so getting together to really address these response times, just talking about which would come first. And of course, I tell the mayor and the governor, well, we need them all. So, so this concept of this thing with the mayor, just talking about how important it was. We worked really hard, and as you all know, sometimes projects take 10 years, 12 years to get done. We were able to do this in 4 years, so I'm really proud of the work of our mayor, our governor, and our state legislators. I mean, this is really just really amazing to have gotten this magnitude. And there's a second phase, so I'm going to throw in a little plug here. There's a second phase. We want to do transit. We also want to do transit on this other side as well, like a transit center. And of course, I'll be hitting up all our legislators for that once we get this done. So, and that'll take 2 years. No, I'm just joking. But who I want to really thank, first and foremost, is that I really want to thank the neighborhood associations, because the idea came from them. I mean, they're the ones that have been advocating all these years, saying that we have these needs in our area. And just one kind of interesting bit of information. If you think of the northwest area from the river and the I-40 north, and if you think of the river this way, west, and then south from the freeway, northwest, southwest, it's not a competition, but I think you guys would think that the population was higher in the northwest part of Albuquerque. It's actually higher in the southwest part of Albuquerque. And, so we're really in need of these services. But with that, I just want to say, I want to thank the Anderson Neighborhood Association. We have here today with us Joe and Pat Risbick. And this is in their neighborhood association. And then I want to thank the Route 66 Neighborhood Association. Sharice is here representing Paul Fava. I think he's the representative usually. And then I want to thank the Westgate Neighborhood Association, Miss Becky Davis. So thank you guys for all your advocacy over the years. You guys have done some tremendous work. And then of course, police, Commander Barraza, Chief Medina, you guys are awesome. Fire Chief Emily Jaramillo, you guys are awesome. And then we have Deputy Chief Romero. So with that, I just want to say again, thank you all so much for all your work on all of this, and I really appreciate, and I'm excited to see this being completed. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Counselor. And as we've mentioned too, it takes just so many people to put this project together, especially in such a short amount of time. And I want to throw out, by the way, Phase 3 is supposed to be a multi-gen center. So we're still dreaming of Phase 3 too. But next up, we have the senator from this area. He's also the majority whip, and he was out here when we first cooked up this project, Senator Michael Padilla.
Thank you. So, thank you all very much for coming out today. I have to tell you, right now, we're actually behind us is one of the newest elementary schools in Albuquerque Public Schools. Just a stone's throw from here, we have the largest high school in the state of New Mexico here, and it's the most diverse, and there's so much going on. This is the fastest growing part of New Mexico. So we should be very proud that we're bringing these services to this area in a really big way. I want to thank, I know that there are a lot of people standing behind me, and I wish I could say, boy, I brought all this money to this area. But look at these legislators. I have to tell you, we all got together and we did a great job of putting money together to make this thing happen, as you heard, in 4 years. So can we thank the legislators that are here with me from the legislature? Thank you, Representatives, Senator Lopez, Representative Chavez, Representative Roybal Caballero, Representative Garrett. We have so many people that are making these things happen, but I have to tell you, there has to be a quarterback. There has to be somebody who's championing it. And that truly is our city councilor, Clarissa Pena. Thank you so much, Councilor. Always be selling those other 2 projects and other 2 phases. I love it. And thank you to our mayor, who I see here all the time, fully committed. He was here when we were announcing this thing. Every time I turn around, he's here. And we have a governor, guys. We really do have a governor that is making public safety a priority. She made it a priority during this legislature. She's going to continue to make it a priority for the rest of her term. And that's why she's here today. We're actually going to hop in the Oldsmobile and head on down the road to actually sign a bunch of, from what I understand, some public safety bills. So thank you, Governor, for making public safety in our area a #1 priority. I'm also, very thankful because this is going to help us with economic development, job creation, and all the things that make a community whole. So thank you to everyone that has made this project happen. We do have 2 or 3 more big, giant things we need to get done on this property, and so we're very excited about that as well. So thank you all for being here. This is just the beginning. We're going to continue to do a lot of wonderful things here. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Senator. And we also have, this area is a shared area, actually really among 2 senators. And so please welcome Senator Linda Lopez.
Thank you, everyone, for being here today. Thank you to our neighborhood associations for your leadership over the years. Thank you to our governor. Thank you to City Councilor Pena and my colleague, Senator Padilla, and state representatives. We worked on this together. Some of us have a memory that goes back when there was nothing out here. There was a lone road of 98th Street, 2-laner, and where we see where the growth has, where we are at this point in time, it is wonderful as we have more needs in our community. We have infrastructure needs, lighting, which is another issue, of course, that we've been working with Councilor Pena on the streets. But this co-location is something that shows government is working efficiently. It's an opportunity for our folks when they need to ask for services. You know it's going to come in a much shorter period of time than what may be the norm in other parts of our city. So I want to say thank you again to everyone. And I'm looking forward to seeing how much the cost is, and we'll all be able to contribute to help that out too. Thank you.
And also we have a representative from this area who's been a key part of this too, and just want to share that all of these legislators and our governor, when I first ran for this job, I said part of it is because we actually have to finish these projects we've been talking about for decades. And so it's not possible without everyone here, including Representative Roybal Caballero.
Thank you very much. Welcome to what we refer to in this area as the new Westgate. We have the old Westgate, which is the heart of District 13. I'm proud to represent District 13. You are in the heart of our district, and it's taken, as everyone has said, all of us in collaboration to make this happen. All the thank yous have been made. I want to continue to say thank you to our governor, our fierce governor, who, when we ask, she says yes. When we ask the city, the county, all of the entities, they all say yes. I want to also mention the Westgate Neighborhood Association, as well as all of our neighborhood associations, because they have been also fierce fighters for the development of this area. Things do not happen without these neighborhood associations, and that's so very important because every neighborhood is represented in these associations. Finally, I want to say that it's really, really important to our constituents. They've been asking and asking and asking for as long as I've been here, and my predecessor is Representative Eleanor Chavez, who used to represent this district, and they've been asking and envisioning because all of us know that the biggest growth in this area is in the southwest quadrant. We've been saying that for years. However, the growth and the facilities and the things that go with growth are not matched. Now we can go back to our constituents and they can actually see the progress that's being made, and that's so very important because community safety, safety in schools, public safety overall is principal to the constituents in this district and in this area and to all of our families in New Mexico. Finally, I said finally before, but one more thought on economic development. One of the key anchors that economic developers look at when they come into an area is public safety. How well will the area be safe, and by whom? Schools, other businesses, neighborhoods, and public safety, having good water, clean air, clean water, clean lands are also key to economic development. So thank you to Governor, thank you to City Councilor, thank you to the Mayor, thank you to all of the grassroots groups that came together to make this happen. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, Representative. And this area is, in sort of a cross-section of all sorts of districts. So we also have longtime representative in different ways from this area, Eleanor Chavez.
Thank you. I just want to say ditto to everything that's already been said. I'm super excited about this. I live about 5 minutes away. I've lived in this area since 1985 and actually represented District 13 before part of it got redistricted into 26. So I live in Westgate, and we understand the importance and appreciate the fact that we have this multi-service public safety center. And I also want to say that I'm super excited that the community, that Albuquerque's community service agency, did I get it right? Community Safety Department is also going to be located here. Senator Pope and I did a ride along with them last summer and actually saw them in action and the great work they do. So thank you to everybody. Thank you all.
We also want to thank and acknowledge Representative De La Cruz. He's probably on his way, but also he was a county commissioner, of course, in this area, and so we're grateful for his help as well. Now, we want to transition to some of the folks who keep us safe each and every day in our city, personally, literally, and those are the folks who lead our public safety departments. And we want to begin with the sort of flagship tenant in this location, our own fire chief, AFR Chief Emily Jaramillo. Chief?
Thank you, Mayor. There's been a lot of thank yous, and we want to also echo all of those thank yous to Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham, Mayor Keller for their support of public safety, all of the legislators, Councilor Pena. We know how much work you put into getting this project pushed forward, so we appreciate that. And I also want to point out some thank yous that we have looking out at everybody here. From DMD, this is the first fire station that's being built during my time as a fire chief, and so I'm learning a lot about what goes into the construction of a fire station, and we're in a lot of Zoom meetings these days with a lot of the faces that I see out here, so I just want to also thank our DMD folks that we meet with regularly. I see Jennifer Turner over here. Our architects are here. over there, yep. And then also all of the people that are building our fire station are standing out, yep, they're in the back. So we just are very appreciative on behalf of all of our firefighters, of everybody that has not only contributed financially to this project, but all of the other city departments and all of the support we have to get this fire station built here. I promoted to captain to the other fire station that serves this area currently, which is Fire Station 14, and it's all the way up on 98th and Central. It's quite a drive down here. And so I know firsthand how long our response times took down in this area, and so we're very thankful to have this fire station being built in this area to assist our residents in this area to have more timely response times. We're anticipating that the response times should improve at least 4 minutes in critical calls, which when seconds count, just like the governor's story about her 6-month-old stopping breathing, 3 to 4 minutes makes a big difference. And so we're very thankful that we're going to be able to provide a better service in this area. And just like Mayor said, it's been 20 years since we've added a new fire station in our department. The last station that we added is Fire Station 21, and that was in 2005. And in perspective, I was a cadet during that year that we added that fire station. So over the past 20 years, our call volume has risen about 40%. And so Fire Station 23 is really our first fire station that we're adding to help address that call volume. So we're very excited to be able to do that for our residents in the Southwest area. Fire Station 23 is being designed with 4 bays, which gives us the option to not only staff an engine and a rescue, but also we can consider adding additional resources as needed. So for example, with the increase in outside fires that we've seen this year, we've added a brush truck to help assist with those. We had to figure out where to put that truck, so it's servicing more of the southeast area of Albuquerque, but with this station having 4 bays, we're going to be able to have more space to be a little more creative with how we serve our neighbors here. So that's another piece that we're really excited about. Lastly, I just want to touch on how difficult it is to really, truly build a fire station. It's not an easy feat. So obviously, a lot of planning goes into building the station, the construction. They've been working on this for quite a while. We have to have the funding. So thankfully, thanks to everybody behind me, we have the funding to move forward with it. And then also naturally, things get a little more expensive every year as we work on building these projects. So we're very thankful that this project for AFR is fully funded. But the station is just the first piece of that. We also have to put fire trucks in the station. And right now it takes us about 4 years from design to completion to build a fire truck. And so putting that into perspective, there's a lot of planning that goes into putting the apparatus and the people into that fire station. So luckily we already have those trucks on the way, so we will have a fire engine and rescue ready for the station to go. And then most importantly, we can't do the work without the people inside of the truck, the firefighters, to do the work. Firefighters are what we like to call an all hazards response. So they're taking care of not only your medical emergencies, but your fires, car accidents, hazmat, you name it, firefighters are doing it, except for what our law enforcement partners do. We leave that up to the police. So we're very thankful that they're co-locating with us here as well. It takes us 18 weeks to train a cadet to be a firefighter. And then for those that go on to be paramedics, it takes an additional 10 months. And then it takes several years for some of our firefighters to achieve the ranks of driver, lieutenant, and captain that will need to be in this fire station. So luckily, also knowing that this project was nearing completion, we've started accounting for the people that we will need to be in the fire station, our firefighters that will be here to respond to your calls. So lastly, I just want to mention once again that we're very thankful for everybody that supported the fire and emergency medical needs of our neighbors in the Southwest. We're very excited to be able to provide you a better service. So thank you all for being here today so that we could thank you as well for the work that you've done to make sure that we get funded. I'm looking forward to standing here sometime next year to dedicate the new fire station to all of our citizens in this area. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chief. And she mentioned the two other response teams, of course, departments that we have to 911. And next we want to hear from our newest. And to share with us ACS's work and presence out here, Director Mariela Ruiz-Angel.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much. I'd like to ditto all of the comments so far. This has been a huge, we see fire buildings and police buildings all over the city. But this year, we actually will be opening up our first one on Catherine and San Mateo, and this makes our second. And that is true commitment. And when we talk calls since inception, 87% since last year. That's amazing. That is the dedication of our mayor, our city councilors, and all the representatives behind us to really make sure that public safety doesn't have to just be police and fire. It can now be around mental and behavioral health and getting people a different type of response. So to that, again, we really feel like this, I was telling someone earlier, when we talk about public safety, I visualize the three kind of branches, right? You've got APD and AFR and ACS, but this is actual visualization. To have us three together in the same area, to be able to collaborate is massive, right? So it's really about building trust with our community. It's about the partnership with AFR and APD, right? This kind of building, this type of collaboration strengthens our collective ability to respond more effectively to emergencies. And then the last one is really about prioritizing safety and the well-being of our public. This area, as the mayor mentioned, we are located currently at the Gibson Health Hub, and it takes about 20 minutes to get to a call on the side. We're very fortunate that we have enough teams that we've been able to place in this area so we can have a quicker response time. But those individuals need a place to have a hub, right? Have a place to be able to have their well-being themselves. And so this is what this is really about, and so that we can be able to get to calls more quickly, so that we can really be able to focus on the safety and the well-being of this community. So again, I am really excited about this. I rarely do directors get to, right, just as Chief Jaramillo said, rarely do we get to see something like this, and I will get to hopefully see 2 buildings in the next couple years go up around ACS. Again, this is massive for our city. There are cities nationwide that would die to have this type of public safety trio, and I'm really proud that Albuquerque can say that we did this. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Director. And the third leg of our public response stool is, of course, our police department. And Chief Medina is traveling this week, but Acting Chief Cecily Barker is here with us this morning. Chief.
Good morning, everybody. I'm the Deputy Chief of the Field Services when I'm not covering for Chief. And so what that means is I oversee the officers in uniform and that are out on patrol taking calls for service. I know that if Chief was here, he would also share his excitement about this community center going up. He worked the Southwest most of his career, as did I. So I started the department just under 20 or over 20 years ago, just hit in January. Started out as a patrol officer working the Southwest Area Command, and that includes when Southwest and Northwest were combined. I very vividly remember driving up and down Unser and it taking 20 to 25 minutes to get to calls. When the Southwest became its own area command and we had a substation, I still worked beat 157, which is as far south as it can go. I loved working that area, but I can say it was really hard to try and find places to get reports done, get forms, communicate with other officers. Since I've worked the Southwest, I see so many commercial buildings now, and I'm excited to see the growth that continues to happen here. But I am mostly excited today to have a building that will be able to hold meetings with our community members as well as our other partners in AFR and ACS. I just want to remind each and every one of you here that it is your support and your dedication that has allowed us to get to this point. We're excited to be in the same building as ACS and AFR. When I was over the investigative division, we brought our detectives together in one building, and what we saw was communication and collaboration really expanded, and I fully expect to see that with this new building. I thank each and one of you for being here. I thank all of our partners and the support that we have for this building, so thank you.
Thank you so much, Chief. And we do have a few other folks that we want to have share a few words. And Representative Art De La Cruz popped in. So, Representative, let's go out over to you.
Thank you, Mayor. Just look around. Look who we have here. We have the governor of New Mexico, the mayor. We have senators, representatives, councilors. It's just amazing. That's the way it's supposed to work, and it's working that way. We all deserve that as residents and citizens, and I'm happy to just be a little part of this. Welcome soon to your new safety center. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you so much, Representative. And we want to acknowledge, of course, the folks who are actually building this. And this facility in particular has a very special story. You know, it's very rare that somebody who actually lives in the neighborhood is going to help build a community safety stadium. That was some sort of weird slip we should talk about later. Yeah. Public safety facility. But in this case, it is true. So we're going to have our COO, Pat Montoya, talk about this. But I do want to acknowledge Juanito Serna. I think he's here. He's our project manager and lives like right next door. Just an awesome thing. And for more on the actual construction and the work on this, let's bring up Juanito and our new COO, as long as council approves it, Pat Montoya.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll introduce Juanito in a second, but I just want to emphasize how important it is that DMD is partnering with ACS, AFR, and APD. This is a joint project. DMD manages projects on behalf of the city, so we're quite excited to be partners with those three different entities. And I might add, Chief Jaramillo mentioned that this is the first fire station in 20 years. I remember back when 21 was built, I was the project manager then. So I'm anxious to see this project go to the complete cycles from Fire Station 21 to Fire Station 23. Just really, really excited about that. Let me introduce the individual that took my place. Jennifer Turner is the interim DMD director, and we're pleased that she's on board. I know she's going to do a good job and is doing that already. And then, as the mayor mentioned, Juanito Serna. Councilor Pena, I want you to know that you're in excellent hands with Juanito. He's our top project manager, one of the top project managers in DMD, lives in the neighborhood. He will see this project go from start to finish on a daily basis because he travels down 98th Street every day to get to work. So it's my pleasure, my honor to introduce Juanito, who lives in the neighborhood, and again will be the project manager for this fire station.
Thank you, Mr. Montoya. So as Mayor Mr. Montoya stated, this is my neighborhood. I've lived here in Westgate over 30 years, me and all my family. My daughter went to Truman Middle School right there. She now works at the Westgate Community Center. This summer, my grandkids who live behind the Westgate Community Center will be able to use the splash pad that we're going to open up this spring. So these projects are true to my heart, close to my heart. It's been an honor for me to serve as the project manager on the Southwest Safety Center and all of the DMG projects in the Westgate area. I've lived here pretty much all my life, and it's so nice to see the city investing in my neighborhood that will keep my family and my community safe. I would like to thank our partners, Janes, for their work, and the architects, Vigil and Associates, for designing a building that we can all be proud of here in Westgate. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we also, I know there's lots of community folks here. I do think, Sharice, we've got you down to speak for the neighbors? No? All right. We have it. Becky. No. All right. Becky, I think, is going to come up and share a few words just from also a neighborhood perspective. Give her a round of applause. Great t-shirt as well.
No, go away. I may be a güera, but I have been living now in and around Westgate and the West Side for almost 20 years, and I acutely feel the frustration that we have all had, not only with public safety and public services, but just trying to get the development that was promised to this whole area 50 years ago by various developers. And this is one way that developers will finally be attracted, in spite of all the rooftops that we can see. They just look at us and say, well, you know, okay, where's the money? Anyway, I'm appreciative of what is going on here. I want to plant a seed among the various public services. Our boys particularly need training in how to become men. I ask this site to have classes in what should be called how to become a man. The Jewish tradition and Native American traditions have that. They start training kids at the age of 10 how to be adults. So these kids should be taken in hand in these community rooms that are going to be in this facility and taught how to be an adult, what it takes to be responsible. You just take classrooms of 10-year-olds and you say, these are the lessons you're going to ask you to consider. Good job. Good job, everybody. Are they? Oh, good.